everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm super excited to share with all of you my recent haul from Lisa Eldridge. So this is from her spring summer collection. And if you're familiar with Lisa Eldridge, she has 2 releases each year, one in the spring summertime and one in the fall winter time. And so her products are always a huge hit in the beauty community. And so I was really excited to pick these guys up to share with all of you today. So in case you guys are not familiar with Lisa Eldridge, she is a makeup artist and businesswoman, and she works with a lot of celebrity clients, but I actually heard of her through the beauty YouTube community, with a lot of folks really raving about her lip products. And so during her last launch last year, I picked up a bunch of products, fell in love with her formulas, and so I was super excited for this recent release. So to start things off, I'm gonna unbox these boxes with you all and run through the products that I picked up, and then I'll do some swatches and share with all of you my initial impressions of these products. And I'll also include some comparison swatches with my existing Lisa Eldridge products. So to start things off, I haven't actually even opened this box yet, so I wanted to do this on camera with all of you, just so you can see the packaging. So you can see here when you open the box, you have the beautiful Lisa Eldridge logo, and then this part opens out, and everything's very nicely wrapped in tissue paper. And she had a special deal where if you bought 3 lip products, you got one of her makeup cases for free. So I have 2 boxes, each with one group of 3 products. So let me just go ahead and open this makeup case for you guys. So here we have the first makeup case. So it's blue velvet with gold embroidery of her logo and gold colored hardware. And then the other bag I got was the red velvet version. And in case you guys are interested, from my winter haul, I got this floral bag. So I got 6 of her lip products in this haul, 3 of her luxuriously Lucent lip colors, which is her hydrating satin finish lipsticks, and then also 3 of her gloss embraces. In this spring summer release, she also came out with some blushes and highlighters, but I'm personally not a huge liquid blush or highlighter person, so I stuck with the lip products. So the outer box for all of these is quite similar. You have this really pretty white box with her logo on the front, and then the top says the shade name. And as with her previous releases, the lipsticks come in this beautiful brushed gold packaging with the logo at the top and the shade name on the bottom. And unlike her matte velvet lipstick formula, these have a smooth bullet finish with the embossment of her logo, and the closure is magnetic. So here are the 3 luxuriously Lucent lip colors that I picked up: Atomic Cherry, Kitten Mischief, and Spirited Away. Next, the gloss embraces come in similar packaging, so the top is that same gorgeous brushed gold finish, and then the bottom is clear and says Lisa Eldridge, and then the top has the logo and the shade names are listed on the bottom. And you just unscrew the top for these and have a really cute little doe foot applicator. And I find that these doe foots just deposit the perfect amount of product on your lips. So here are the 3 shades that I picked up. First, we have Go Lightly, which is a shade that she originally released as a luxuriously Lucent lip color, and that was a huge hit, quickly sold out, and so now she's brought it back in this gloss embrace formula. And then we also have Affair, which she originally released as a velvet lip color. And then finally we have Blush, which is one of her OG lip embrace shades. And in case you guys are curious, currently on my lips I actually have the lip embrace in Muse on, and I find that this is just the perfect everyday shade for me, just a my lips but better kind of color. So now with the packaging out of the way, let's dive into these lip swatches. So to start off, let's dive into these luxuriously Lucent lip colors. So this is a formula I actually have not tried before. So previously I've tried her lip embrace formula and also her velvet matte formula. But if you guys have watched my channel, you know that I'm not a big matte lipstick wearer, so I'm super excited to try out this formula that's supposed to be much more hydrating and comfortable on the lips. So first off, we have Kitten Mischief. So here is an arm swatch, and it's described as a playful, light, buttery caramel pink tone that imparts a delicious peach toffee, easygoing kissability, an everyday essential. So let's go ahead and apply this to my lips. So that's just one thin layer, so you can tell that this is a pretty sheer formula overall. It feels super comfortable though, just like a lip balm. As you guys could see when I was applying it, it doesn't necessarily have a ton of opacity with just one swipe, but you can definitely build it up, and it has that feeling of just a really nice, smooth, hydrating lip balm. I was really excited to pick up the shade because Lisa Eldridge really raved about this in her launch video. She said that basically she's been wearing this color nonstop. It's her everyday lipstick shade, and even though she and I have very different skin tones, I just couldn't help but want to try it out myself. I would say that on my skin tone, this also works as a really pretty everyday neutral color. It's slightly more pinky and peachy than what I would consider a true nude for my skin tone, but I think the pinky peachiness does just add a little bit more youthful vibrancy to my lips, and so I do really like it from that perspective. Especially given how comfortable this formula is, I can definitely see this becoming an everyday staple. Next, we have Spirited Away, and you can see that it's a bit more cool toned and plummy compared to Kitten Mischief over here. And Lisa Eldridge describes this as a very modern rosewood, which traverses the color spectrum from brown to red to pink with a warm tone underscoring, enhancing natural lip color with a touch of vibrancy to make the whites of your eyes brighter and your whole face pop with a healthy glow. So this was actually the shade that I was most excited about in this launch. So first off, it's called Spirited Away, and I love the movie Spirited Away, which inspired this name. And so I was really excited about it from that standpoint. But also to me, this just looked like such an interesting shade. As Lisa's description captures, it's kind of hard to really pin down how you would describe this shade. It's not really a red, but it's also not quite a brown or a pink. And so it's kind of in between those three major families of lip colors. And so I find it just very unique from that standpoint, but still really great as an everyday lip color. And I can definitely see the pop against my relatively warm toned skin. I would say that Kitten Mischief on me definitely looks more like kind of an everyday, almost nude, but still a little bit vibrant lip shade, whereas Spirited Away definitely has a little bit more of that pinky rosy pop to it. This to me gives much more romantic vibes. Next, we have Atomic Cherry, and this is definitely the brightest and reddest of these three shades. And this is described as a fruit punch cocktail of a coral red. One swipe gives a pretty wash or build to a summer iced lolly hue. So I definitely agree this gives you the effect of having been eating a popsicle or a red candy. It sort of stains your lips with that very vibrant red color, but as you can tell, the formula is still kind of sheer, so you can still see a little bit of your natural lip pigment kind of peeking through. This color is definitely a very vibrant summer hue. I think on days if you don't really want to do much makeup, it's way too hot to really put on a full face, but you just want to kind of brighten up your face, this is a really great lip product to just pick up and give yourself a little bit of color, a little bit of pop on your lips, and this will definitely give your face a lot of vibrancy. Because this color is so bright, you can also just kind of tap it in and maybe blur it out a little bit if you want to do more of a gradient lip look. And also I think this would look really nice with a lip liner just to further define the edges. So now let's go into the lip embraces, starting with Go Lightly. So here is Go Lightly swatched, and you can see it's a very different formula than these lipsticks over here, which have kind of a smooth, balmy texture. The lip embrace has a much more shiny finish to it. Also, I'm not sure if you can really see it in the camera, but this shade is unique in that it does have some shimmer particles in it. Go Lightly is described as an insanely pretty salmon pink coral shade inspired by one of the shades in Lisa's vintage collection, redolent of early 1960s Hollywood. The addition of subtle modern pink and gold pearls make the shade truly wearable and flattering for all. So here we have Go Lightly on the lips, and I think this is the perfect summery lip gloss shade. It's got a lot of beautiful vibrancy to it, and the pink is just so pretty and feminine, but the formula starts out pretty sheer. So if you want just a really subtle hint of coral, you can have that on your lips, or you can really build it up like I did today so you guys can see the color. and this is just a really vibrant lip shade. So the Gloss Embrace formula is one that I am quite familiar with. I wear my Gloss Embrace in Muse almost on a daily basis, so it's one of my favorite lip gloss formulas. I would say that it's not as pigmented as, say, my Pat McGrath lip glosses or my M Cosmetics True Gloss formulas, so it's really great for a more natural wash of color. The formula of this product is somewhere between a lip gloss and a lip mask. So whereas, for example, the Pat McGrath formula feels much more like kind of a thick gloss on your lips, this formula has some more oils and butters into it, which give it a somewhat thinner consistency in comparison to typical lip glosses. Even though when you first put on this lip product, you can see this really intense sheen, it does dry down relatively quickly, and so it's not going to look as shiny as a lip gloss will look. The lip mask elements of it, though, make it just feel very nourishing on the lips, and I feel like the butters in the formula give it more of a lasting, nourishing effect on the lips. So even after the color and shine wear away, you can still kind of feel like you have a protective layer on your lips. This is not a formula I usually go for if I want a really glam look with a very pigmented lip that's really precise, but this is just such an easygoing, comfortable formula to use on an everyday basis. Next, we have the Gloss Embrace in Affair, and here we have the swatch. So you can see that this shade is a bit more pigmented than Go Lightly. I think Go Lightly is the sheerest formula in this Lip Embrace line. Also, Affair is definitely the most brown toned and neutral in comparison to all of these other shades. Affair is described as an earthy, soft caramel brown with easygoing, cool girl vibes. This wonderful sticky toffee shade has neutral, warm, golden undertones. So Affair was the Lip Embrace formula I was most excited to try out because I am a huge sucker for caramel lip shades. I think they're just perfect for an everyday basis on my skin tone, and I just find them really flattering regardless what kind of eyeshadow look I do. I would say that compared to other caramel brown lip products that I have in my collection, Affair does seem to have a little bit more of a pinkiness to it. So in that sense, it's slightly less of a nude lipstick on my skin tone, but I think this just looks really neutral and natural, and I can imagine wearing this pretty much on an everyday basis. I think this is perfect for just an everyday professional look. Finally, we have the Lip Embrace in Blush. So here we have the swatch. So blush is definitely much more plummy and cool toned compared to the other two Lip Embraces. It almost looks a little bit purple on my skin. Also, even though I said Go Lightly is quite sheer, I think that actually blush is a bit more sheer than the other two. Even though the shade itself is deeper, the formula is a little bit looser and more sheer. And blush is described as an archetypal cool-toned pink berry inspired by the flush painterly hues of Rococo artists such as Bateau, Fragonard, and Boucher. It doesn't get much prettier or intensely feminine than this. Varies from a natural lip, if applied lightly, to a fully flushed pout. So here is blush on the lips. And so as I mentioned, this was actually part of her initial Lip Embrace launch. But I picked the shade up in large part because I was just so attracted to the shade description. So I just love the vision that she paints of what the inspiration was for the shade. And so I had to try it out for myself. I would say that on my lips, this is a really pretty, slightly cool toned pink, but it's still warm enough that it has that everyday natural look to it as well. For me personally, when I wear cooler toned berry pinks, often it really stands out a lot from my face. So I do like that this is slightly more muted in comparison. As I mentioned when I was doing the swatches, I do find that this formula for blush is a little bit thinner compared to the other formulas. So the pigmentation that I got with a few swipes of this shade is a lot lighter than I would say for the other shades. And indeed, when I look at the website, I feel like the pictures she has there are much more pigmented in comparison. So I just wanted to note that, because if you're expecting a much more pigmented, kind of deeper berry shade, at least in the one I received, I feel like it's giving me much more of a mid-tone pink rather than a deeper pink berry. So with the swatches of these new products out of the way, let me just go ahead and do some comparison swatches with my existing Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. So I went off camera to do my comparison swatches, and I'm very sad to report that my Velvet Muse lipstick broke off as I was doing a swatch. I pushed it back on, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah, it's very sad and unfortunate because I honestly have not used this lipstick very often because I'm not a huge matte lipstick wearer, but I find Lisa Eldridge lipstick so beautiful. It's very sad that the bullet is now all messed up, but yeah, just PSA out there, if you do have her velvet lipsticks, be a little bit careful if you do any swatches with them because they might kind of just snap. But moving right along, let me show you guys at least the swatches that I was able to obtain. So these three here are my existing Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. So first we have the Lip Embrace in the shade Muse. And as I said, this is basically my everyday lip color. It's just a beautiful dusty rose shade. Over here is Velvet Muse, which is the casualty of this video, unfortunately. So these two are technically the same shade, but I will say that the matte comes across as being ever so slightly more cool toned. And then finally we have Velvet Fawn, which is also just a really beautiful neutral shade. And in case you guys were curious, I did just want to show you the differences in how the bullet looks for her velvet lipsticks in comparison to these Lucent lip colors. So here we have Spirited Away, which has a really smooth finish, and here we have Velvet Fawn, which has a really beautiful velvety finish to it. So you can see the bullet itself looks like it almost has a matte texture. On the other side, the Lucent lip color has the embossment of Lisa's logo, whereas the velvet lipsticks do not. Also, one quick thing I wanted to mention in case you are a collector of lots of lipsticks. So the magnets on the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks are pretty strong. So as you can see here, there's a lot of force pushing them apart if you try to push them together. I personally don't mind that, but did just want to mention that in case you want to store a lot of these close together. So with all the comparisons and swatches out of the way, let's go into my initial impressions of this recent haul. So I'm super excited for these new additions to my lip collection. As much as I do enjoy my velvet lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge and think they are an excellent matte formula, I am definitely a lip gloss and lip balm gal on an everyday basis. And even though these Lucent lip colors are not advertised as being lip balms, I feel like the texture is definitely like a cross between a satin lipstick and a lip balm. So it's really comfortable on the lips. Normally, I like a little bit more pigmentation in my lip products, but I feel like with both of these formulas, you can definitely build up the opacity if you'd like. And also, I think these are just perfect for a more easygoing everyday look where you want to be able to just apply your lip product on the go and not be too precise with your application. I'm also really glad that the three shades I picked up in the Lucent lip color collection do seem to look really distinct on my lips. That was something I was a little bit worried about when I saw Timtalia's swatches because a lot of the shades in that collection just looked extremely similar to each other, especially since this is a sheer formula. But on me at least, these are all definitely very different. So Kitten Mischief is much more of kind of an everyday color for me with just a little bit of pop. Spirited Away is a cooler toned everyday lip color that's more rosy and brown rather than peachy and pink. And then Atomic Cherry is definitely very vibrant and very summery. That one is actually currently sold out on her website, so I think a lot of folks are in this summery mood. I'm also very excited about these new lip embraces. So as you can see, my previous Lisa Eldridge haul was very neutral, very nude, very subdued, and so these definitely add a lot more variety. Recently, I've been doing a lot of bronzy looks, so I think a fair will be perfect on those days, or really any days when I do more of a warm toned look. Go Lightly has just such a beautiful bright pop to it, so also just perfect for the summery months. Blush is a shade I think I'll go for a little bit more in the slightly cooler toned months. It's a really great everyday color, but does have some slightly cool undertones to it that I think I'll gravitate towards more come fall. I would say that just based on my very initial impressions, my guess would be that Affair and Spirited Away are going to be the ones that I'm going to draw from the most. But I'll have to update you guys on this in my next month's roundup in terms of what I actually end up using the most. Overall, I am extremely excited about this haul, and I think these are all lipsticks that I will wear a ton of, especially during the summer. And I'm so glad that Lisa Eldridge has expanded her line, added all of these additional colors, and I would definitely recommend either of these formulas. The Lip Embrace one I have used for a very long time and can definitely vouch for. For the Lucent lip color, I'll have to give you guys an update in my monthly roundup in terms of how these shades wear over time, but at least upon initial application, they're extremely comfortable and really beautiful on the lips. So that's it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And if you have picked up any of Lisa Eldridge's products in the past, I would love to hear what your favorite products have been. And also, if you picked up the blush or highlighter from this recent release, please do let me know what your thoughts are down below. As I mentioned at the top, I passed on those two products because personally, I'm just not a fan of liquid cheek products, but I have been feeling a little bit of FOMO, so definitely let me know your thoughts down below. And if you guys like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!